Jesus. fresh.
We'll get to that later. Right now, we so grateful for all that God is doing and all that He is putting together. We're just amazed that every day is an amazing thing that God does. And you know, there's a lot of things that we've talked about and we've studied about, and about the things that we seek in our life. You know, happiness, joy, and peace, and all those things are things that we look for and things that we strive to achieve. And there's one word that kind of encompasses all of that, and that word is stability. Stable. And you know, I thought, well, that word's got to appear in the Bible a lot of times. That stableness, that stronghold, that being on the rock. But you know, the word stable appears in the Bible twice, and one time it's talking about a corral for an animal, and stability appears one time.
Thank you.
In the King James Version. The stability appears somewhere in Isaiah chapter 33, but stability is something, stability by definition is a state of being stable. And stable by definition is something steady that is not prone to change, someone who's level-headed, who isn't subject to wild swings of emotion. Now, personal stability is a lifestyle that's characterized by a lot of well-thought-out ideas and well-thought-out, decisions. And this stability is something that, this is what we look for as we're trying to gather all the little parts of life. We're trying to generate this stability. This something that we can be sure of. But you know, a lot of people are kind of apprehensive about being that stable because it's kind of mundane and routine, and it might be boring, or you might get burned out. You know, as we talked about many times, the board has told me that, you know, you need to take some time off. We don't want you to get burned out. You got a lot of things going on, and when we do have a lot of things going on, we're going to call for the final inspection on our house finally this week. So that's kind of down to the final stages there. But now the school's getting going, and this summer we have a lot of things to take care of. So there's a lot going on there. We've got a lot going on here. But it seems like if we're mindful of that stability and where it comes from, that there's really no time for burnout. I wonder. I was thinking. I wonder. In the Bible, it never talks in there about, well, Job, he just got burned out. Oh, Elijah, he just got burned out. Abraham, oh yeah, he just got burned out. Moses, 40 years in the desert, he finally got burned out. It never mentions that in the Bible, because their stability is on something that's everlasting. Their stability was in something that doesn't run out. Their stability was their strength came from God, not from their own. And this is when we begin to acquire stability in our life, when we realize that it's not about me. My life has to be about serving other people. That's what God called me to do. He called me to be a disciple, to serve other people. And when we do that, when we're going to begin to live that way and work that way, which that God has just created that in me a long time ago about always wanting to help somebody, or always being willing to help, or do wherever I can, whenever I can. But when we begin to live that way, people are surprised by it. And they're like, well, don't you get tired of that? Well, what was it, today's Sunday, Friday, I was out behind the house, and when we bought the bricks for the house, here I am just not thinking, I guess. I bought 6 pallets of them pavers to do the back patio. And I'm back there, and it's a little windy, and it's hot, and it's dusty. And I'm putting those pavers down, and I'm just going at it. And Dessa comes to the door and says, aren't you hot and tired? I was like, I don't know. I hadn't stopped long enough to think if I wanted to know. And it dawned on me, that's the energy that we should serve the Lord with. Don't you get tired of going down to church? I never stopped long enough to think about it. There's just always something else I need to do there. There's a joy and a peace that comes from just being stable in the foundation of God, that really whatever I'm doing, if I'm doing it the way He tells me to do it, then it's going to be okay. I've been at the school, they had a spelling bee, which they asked me to judge, which got put in, that I wasn't planning on doing, and a science project fair over at the other school. They asked me if I'd be a judge. Sure. And they're surprised when you say sure. They're like, wow, really? Oh yeah. They wanted to have the spelling bee on the stage in the gym at the Toltec school, but the principal, she says, well, we can't really because the lights are out on the stage. I'm saying, well, it's just lights. I said, how long have they been out? Oh, about 10 years. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So they're way up there. I couldn't reach them, so I got talking to people. Tommy said, well, I got scaffolding, so I went and got Tommy scaffolding, took it down there, and we changed all the light bulbs on the stage. And they were like, wow, that's amazing. I was like, it's a light bulb. It's not hard to change. But see, God puts us in an opportunity to say, you know, if you'll just be a servant and you'll just do, and I testify that I'm a pastor first. And I do things, and I'm there because God put me there, and for no other reason. And what I do there is because God tells me to do it, and for no other reason. It's not to appease anybody or do anything. He shows me things that need to be done, and we just do them. We don't ask questions. We don't have to psychoanalyze everything that comes along. We just do it. And whatever God tells me to do, every time I go to a school board meeting, I just pray all the way there, Lord, you just speak through this mouth, because if I do, I'll mess it up. And he just puts us in places and gives us opportunities to hold up what is morally right again. Mm-hmm. To hold up and say, you know what, people, it's time to get off your backside and make a decision and do something. It's sitting, and this is what I told them last Wednesday, sitting here behind this desk in these fancy chairs doesn't get anything done. Getting up off your backside and walking out there and doing something gets something done. So go do it. Air conditioner at this school's been out for this is over a year. Well, it's not going to get through graduation. It's going to be hard. It's just going to be hot. And the air conditioner broke, and the state hasn't given us the money to fix it, and on and on and on. And I'm like, well, it's not that difficult. So I called Alan Riley's, and I said, Chris, what do? I got a 120-ton chill water system that don't work. He says, well, you can rent one from United Rentals. Really? Call United Rentals? Yeah. The school's got an account list. Okay, bring one. They bring it out, they hook it up, no big deal. It's running, they got air conditioning. Everybody's like, wow.
Don't they have a maintenance man there that could do all that for
But they have to have an okay. See, they can't do anything without an approval. I can't, because they can't fire me. I can do whatever the Lord puts on my little heart, and they can't fire me. And that's what people are saying. Wow, it's nice to have somebody that'll stand up and take the bull by the horns. I'm not taking the bull by the horns, I'm just doing it. And God gives me an opportunity and shows me something needs to be done, and I go do it. And we can do that every day in our life. Every day in our life we can do something, and so many times God will put us in a position to do something and show kindness and nice and all the fruits of the Spirit, and He gives us an opportunity to display them, and we hold back. Well, it's not right to do that. Well, I don't know how they're going to feel about it. The other day I was coming into Walmart, and there was a lady, she come out and she had 2 bags of groceries, one in each hand, and a walker, and you could tell she couldn't walk very good, and her husband pulls up right by the door to pick her up, and the pickup's about that high off the ground. I'm like, well, that ain't good. So, and of course they're right in front of the door, so I said, ma'am, can I help you and get the door and help you get in? She said, no, my husband's coming, but thank you for stopping and asking. That's all it takes. When you're put in the position, when you're given the opportunity, use what God gave you. God put you there, and you see these things where people have a need, just offer your help. And God says, I just want to know that you're there and you're willing. I want to know that you're going to be a disciple of mine, and you're going to do, when you get an opportunity to serve somebody, guess what? This will bring a stability in your life that you've never had. Because when you walk away, you say, thank you, Lord, for letting me at least tell somebody that Jesus loves them. Let me at least get an opportunity to share the love that you gave me. Because it's not about, you know, we sing a lot of songs, and we're going to sing one after a while that we're really going to enjoy, but we sing a lot of songs about what my reward is going to be someday in heaven. But I was thinking this morning, even as I went out to open the gate, it's not about the reward. It's not, we don't serve the Lord because we're going to get a reward. We serve the Lord because of what He did for me. Whether there's a reward or not, I already have my reward. I've already received my forgiveness. What more can I want? Even if I have to sit down in a cave with Elijah and sit on a rock, if I'm with Jesus, what difference does it make? It doesn't have to be a man. It's not about the reward. It's about saying, Lord, I recognize what you've done for me, and through that, I want to give it my all to serve you in every way that I can. Guess what? I'm going to get stability in my life. I'm going to quit looking for peace. I'm going to quit looking for joy. I'm going to quit looking for all those things. I'm already going to have them. That stability is saying, you know what? I want to live my life the way the Lord would have me live it. And every opportunity that He gives me, I'm just going to walk right out in it. I think about when I took Sandra to the airport. She said, I'm just praying, Pastor, that when I get there, I can get all of this done. She didn't realize God had already done it. Just walk in the truth of it. Just walk in the faith of it. I'm going up there. I know He sent me up there, and I don't know how I'm going to get all this done, but I'm just going hoping that it all gets done. And God says, I already got it. You just walk through the path. The path is already laid out. All you got to do is walk in it. And He does that in every life. The path is already laid out. Just walk in it with the joy, saying, you know what? Stability. Let's go to 1 Chronicles, chapter 16.